Hello everyone, so welcoming you one more time in the new video of our 2025 question paper discussion. So we are already done with section A and section B, and now it's a time for us to start with section C. So I hope my screen is clear to you. So we have the first question, write a Python function. So it's from function, we have to create a function that displays all the lines containing the word vote from a text file elections.txt. So for your convenience, I have already created a file with this name on my desktop. Let me show that file to you. Okay, so this is the election file, and some of the content, if you will match this content, it is almost the same as the one which is given, okay, in the question paper, in the question. Okay, so write a Python function. So the name of the file is elections.txt. For example, if this is the content, some 4 lines are given in this, so you have to display the lines in which this word vote is coming. Okay, so here also you can see vote is there. Here also the first line there is votes. Votes we don't have to display, we only have to search for vote. So these 2 lines, in an election many people vote to choose their representatives, and normally one person has to vote once. So let us start writing the code. So this is from the file handling, and it's a text file. So one of the expected question, so as the name of the function is not given and we have to display the content, so better we can write display. Okay, so I'm using def here, and the name of the function, it is display. Okay, so this header will end with colon. Now you will open the file handler. So file is equal to open. So what was the name of the file? It was elections.txt. So elections.txt, right? And which mode is read mode, because you have to read the content of it. So we have to read the content line by line. So you have to read all the lines, right? So file handle dot read lines, and this will give you the data in a form of lines. So you can take a variable lines here, and then we have to search for a word. So that word we have to search into it. So you can just go for the individual line. So for line in lines, okay, and then in this line you have to search for vote. So if vote is a word, so give it in single or double quote in line. So if it is there in line, print that particular line. So print line. Okay, finally you close this file. So it is file dot close, and then call this function. So display, right, and done. So this is the code which is required. Let us quickly write this code in Python platform also, so that more clear. So we have def display, okay, and then take the file handle. We have open, and the name of the file is elections.txt. in which mode? In read mode. Okay, then you have to read all the lines. So lines is equal to file dot read lines function. Okay, and then for individual line in lines, so loop is required. Then check for word vote, okay, in line, and we have to print the line. Okay, it is not the word they are asking you to print. Okay, you have to print the. So I close that file and then call this function. So let us go for it. Okay, so run this code, go to run module, and it will ask us to, okay, the file is already saved, and you can see those. Okay, so those 3 things are coming here. So if you don't want to display these votes, we can give a space here, right? Let me try to give a space here. Run this. Okay, perfect. Now it is not considering S as a part of it, so that's compulsory. You can see the output is perfect. These 2 lines are coming, vote and vote. Okay, so please do remember, make sure the space should be there. Okay, so if you have written like this, that means the code is perfect. Okay, let us go for the next question, the OR part of the same. So we have write a Python function that displays all the words starting and ending with a vowel from a text file report.txt. So again, the report.txt file is there with the content which is given in the question paper. Okay, that's the content of this file, report.txt. So report.txt, the consecutive words should be separated by a space in the output. So when you will display the word, they should be separated with the space, not in the next line. Okay. For example, if this is the content of the file, once there was a wise man in the village. So we can close this selection. Once there was a wise man in a village, he was an awesome storyteller, whatever is given in the question. So we have to display all the words which are starting and ending with a vowel, and from which file? Report.txt file. So I think I can write this code directly here only. I can go for the report function, okay, sorry, display function, and again here also I'll create this file handle. So file is equals to open. The name of the file is it's report, right? Report.txt is the name of the file. So here we will write report.txt. Okay, in which mode? Obviously here also we have to read the content. So I opened it in read mode. But here you have to work with the word. Okay, so we have to read the whole content of the file. So I'm just using read function. As you know, read function is used to read the whole content of the file. Now you have to divide that content into word, because we have to display all the words starting and ending with the vowel. So you have to split it into word, and if I use split function, so I'll get a list here. So list is equal to data dot split. Perfect. Now we have the word list of words in LST variable. So you can separate them for word in LST. So you got the individual word here, and then you have to check the first letter and the last letter. So first letter is at position 0, right? So if word is 0 in A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, even A-E-I-O-U in capital, and you have to check for the last letter, that is at position -1. Okay, so in, again this also we have to check for vowel A-E-I-O-U, and it is A-E-I-O-U, right? So if it is like that, you have to print what? The word. Well, they are saying you to display all the words in the same line. So and is equal to space, separated with the space. So we can try this because the file is already there, and this file, Python file, is also saved on the desktop only. So I'm getting once, once a awesome able. So let me check what is the output given here. Once a awesome able. So this is the code for the program. Okay, so I hope you are clear this with this code, because the code is quite simple. I mean, you just have to check for the first and the last. In case of file handling and the text file, basically they are based on some specific functions only, and every year the same type of questions are coming. So it is not like something very new they have given this time. Okay, so let us start with the next question. So we have 30A here. Again, the stack related question, which is one of the expected question, came again. So we have a stack named CLRSTACK. CLR stack contains records of some color. Each record is represented as a tuple. This time it is for tuple containing 4 elements. Color name red, green and blue. These are the 4 elements given for this clear stack. Color name is the string variable, and red, green, blue are the integers. So they are keeping the values from 0 to 255, if you remember, for each color scheme. RGB is our computer color scheme. For example, a record in the stack may be yellow, and for red it is 237, for green it is 250, and for blue it is 68. Write the following user-defined function in Python to perform the specified operation on CLRSTACK. CLR stack. So this is for the push operation. What they are saying, this is a stack and a new CLR, which is a new record. So this function take the stack CLR STK and a new record, new CLR as argument. So you can see the prototype is given here. and pushes this new record onto the stack. So you know very well that push is the append function, right? It is the append function. So if I'll go for the second one, we have pop underscore CLR STK. This function pops the topmost record. Okay. So that is the pop function only we can use. Till the elements are there, we can remove the elements one by one from top, and the top position will also change. This is the shape of a stack. It will start inserting and deletion. Both will take place from the top of the stack. Now till underflow condition is not there. Underflow means there is no more element in the stack. If there is no more element means you will not be able to remove the element. And is empty means this function is going to check whether you have the elements in the stack or not. So this function checks whether the stack is empty, and if the stack is empty, the function should return true, and otherwise the function should return false. So let us start with all that stuff. This is again a one expected question, easy one. So yes, first we have the function name is push CLR. C is in capital. Okay, so well, it is our case sensitive language. So we have def and push CLR. Okay, what was the name of the variables? It is CLR stack and new CLR. So we have CLR stack, C capital, yeah, C capital, CLR stack and new CLR again capital. Okay, so well, these are the two things given. This is the stack. So what you will do, CLR STK dot append, and this is the new record you have to append. So you write new CLR and we are done. Can you see how easy it is? Okay, well, let us start with the next one. We have def pop CLR CLR stack pop. So we have def pop underscore CLR, C capital, and it is CLR stack, CLR and then stack. So well, here you have to check one thing, because underflow condition also we have to check. So if CLR STACK, CLR stack is blank, if it is blank means underflow, right? Print underflow. Okay, else you can return the pop element, that is with the help of pop function CLRSTACK dot pop. Okay, so again you can check it one time. Let me reduce the size. So please check it. This one is for insertion of the element. So here we are, here we are inserting the element, adding or inserting the element. Push is equal to insertion, right? And pop is if the element is there in the stack, it will go to this, and no value is given here means it will take the topmost element from the stack and that will be removed, or you could say the last element will be removed. Otherwise, if the stack is already empty, this is the condition. This is we are checking for the empty stack, and if it is empty means it will display underflow. Okay, so these are the two functions I have written, and is empty CLR CLR. Okay, is empty function. Let me write down another function here. So it is def. So we have CLR, we have CLR STACK, right? So yes. So well, the function name is empty, right? It is not CLR and all. So it is the name of the variable. So let me rub this and okay. Well, finally it is rubbed, and if you will go for the name of the function name is empty. The variable name is CLR stack. Okay, so function name is empty. So you will write is empty, and CLR STACK is the name of the variable. So what you have to check here, this function checks whether the stack is empty. If the stack is empty, the function should return true. So empty means the same condition you will write, right? So you can check if the length of the stack, which is CLR stack, and if it is equals to 0, then return true. Return true. In Python, T is in capital. Then you write else, and then they are saying you to return false. Okay. So well, this is the whole question we have written here. I hope you are clear with this. And for the next year, those are going to appear for the next year. For them also, this question is something we are expecting. So this is not something new we got in the paper. This is the one which we were expecting. Okay, so I hope you have taken a screenshot of it. If you want, you can take it now. And we are done. Okay. Well, this is done. Now we will go to the OR part of the same question. Yeah, so B section, write the following user-defined function in Python. This is almost same only. You can see we have push trial, n and my stack. Here n and my stack are the two lists. That one was based on tuple. This is based on list, and my stack represents a stack. Okay, so stack is my stack here. So the function should push the last 5 elements from the list n onto the stack my stack. So for example, if the elements of the list n are these, then the last 5 elements are from 3 to 7. Okay, so these all elements we have to push into my stack. Okay, then pop is to return the same thing. You have to remove one by one all the elements from the top, and if there is no element in this, then stack underflow. Okay, so next is we have display all. So you have to display the whole stack. Okay, if there is no element in the stack, then ignore it. So we'll go for push trial function first. So first I am writing the push trial function def. I think push was in push trial, everything is small only. So it is push trial, and we have n, and we have my str. Okay, now the last 5 elements. So I'm feeling like we can use for, where, in, and you can use string slicing, right? For the last 5 elements, you can start from -5 to the last. See, that part I am ignoring. Otherwise, if you want, you can write the length of this n. But if you are ignoring, then also the last element will be added. So we are just extracting the last 5 elements, and one by one they will be appended into which my str.append function. And this one by one, all the values like the element at position -5, okay, will store into this val variable, and that we are appending at the end of this my str. So you write here val. Perfect. Now next to that we have def again. So next is pop _1, and again we have my str. Okay, so for pop 1, what they were saying, we have to pop the element, and in case if there is no element, it should return none. Okay, so none means no value. So you will write if the length of my str is 0, right? So if it is 0, we have to print stack underflow, because there is no element, right? If length is 0 means there is no element into it. So stack underflow. So what is the else part they are saying? In else part, you try to pop the element, and the property of pop function you know very well. It will remove the element and the value if you want, and you can store it into a variable. So I wrote it here, val is equal to my str dot pop. So the reason also, I think you will understand like why I wrote this val here, because they are asking you to return, see, return none. There is no other way, if I'll return the value of this val, and if no element is there, automatically it will return none. That's the property of the function. So I'm writing here return val. So what it will do, if element will be there in the stack, that element will be removed. If no element will be there, then it will return none. This is the auto property of the pop function. Okay, now the third function, display all my stack. So we have def here, and it is display all, right? Display all, and the name of the variable was, I think, my stack only. Yes, it was my stack. And what they are saying, you to display all the elements of the stack. Okay, display all the elements of the stack, my stack, without deleting them. Without deleting means if you want to delete also, then pop function is there. But if you don't want to delete, you can use normal for loop. Right here we can use normal for loop to display the elements. If the stack is empty, then you have to display empty stack. So what I'll write it here, I'll write if the stack is empty, the same condition, if my stack is equal to blank, or length of the stack is equal to you can write 0, or my stack equals to blank, then print stack is empty. Stack is empty. Okay, and else part, you have to display the elements of the stack. For that, I think the best part is to use for loop here. For I in range, then you will start with the length of my str. It is not stack, it is my str. No, my stack only. So my stack, it is my stack minus 1. Okay, let me write it properly, otherwise you will be confused. So my stack minus 1. Okay, and then it will be till minus 1, and then minus 1, because we want to move it into the opposite direction, and then you display my stack. Okay, and the position is I. Well, this is looking like perfect. So you can see, like, if there is no element, it will display stack is empty, which was my requirement. Empty stack or stack is empty. You can write empty stack also here, because if I'll go with the question, I should write empty stack only. Okay, and in case if elements are there, I am just displaying the element in the reverse order, and all the elements are popping one by one the elements, but not removing them. Okay, you can see there is no pop function, remove or clear, nothing is there. It is just we are displaying with the help of for loop. So I am showing this code one more time to you properly. So yes, so okay, this is the code. It's a lengthy one as compared to the previous one, but yeah, these type of questions they used to give, so we were expecting. Now we have the 31A, predict the output of the following code. And you can see the output related question. I have to arrange the screen properly. Wait a minute, I'm opening it. Okay, so on the left of the screen you can see the question, and on the right we will be solving it. So well, just check it first. Value of this is exam on Gen X is the value we have to take for my str variable. So my str is equal to Gen X. Okay, now we have new str is blank, count is 0, count is also 0. Now you check, we have for I in my str. Okay, for I in my str, so the first value of I is G, capital G. So if it is G, count value is 0. 0 modulus 2 is not equals to 0. That's true only. 0 modulus 2 is 0. So false. Okay. So it will go to else block, and this new str is equal to, there is no value given for new str, I dot lower. It will convert that I value into lowercase g. So now you have G here, right? Now count will increase by 1. So now count value is 1. So again it will go up, and at one position, I mean the next element position is not there because there is no range function. So it will take the next character of my str, which is E, small e. So now the value of I is small e, and the count is 1. So 1 modulus 2 is not equal to 0. That's true only, right? It was false here. It is true here. So new str is equal to, the previous value of new str is small g plus small g plus str of count minus 1. So count value is what? It is 1. So 1 minus 1, 0. But 0 is now is string because they have converted it into string. So it is GO. Right? And that also a string. Now again count will increase by 1. So count will become 2. So then next character is n. I value is n now. So n count is now 2. So 2 modulus 2 is not equals to 0, which is false because it is 0. So again it will go to this part, and new str is equal to, the previous value is go, and plus new my str, and it is from 0, 1. So the character in my str at position 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 is capital G and E. Okay. That is false only, na? Wait a second. This value 2 modulus 2 is not equals to 0. It is false because 2 modulus 2 is 0. So it will go here and will convert it into, I will be lowercase. So the value of I is already in lowercase, so you will get n here, G-O-N, not O, this is 0, Z-O-N, and then again the count will increase by 1, so count will become 3. Okay, so next value of x, I is x. So when I is x, the count is 3. So 3 modulus 2 is not equals to 0, which is true. Okay, so new str is equal to, it is G 0 n and then count minus 1. So count value is 3. So 3 minus 1, 2, and that will be in this thing. Okay, this. So well, we are done with all that. Okay. Yeah. Now this is done. G 0 and 2. So this is done. Count will increase by 1. So count will become 4. But as we are done with all the characters, so you will be outside here. Print. Now here new str is equal to, new str is G 0 and 2 plus 0 and 1 character. So 0 and 1 character are G and E. Okay, so when you will display the outcome, this is the outcome for the code. It's a good question. G 0 and 2 and this G is will be added because of this statement, and the output would be the new string is G 0 and 2 capital G and E. Okay, so this is the final outcome for the thing. Now yeah. Okay, then we have the G part, B part also for the same. So this is looking like very simple question. So you will be starting with the main program. This is a list. L1 is blank, L2 is blank, and then we are passing it to this. So this D will pass to X. So X is equal to the same dictionary it is. Now K comma V is equal to X dot items. So K is the keys and the V is the value. So L1 is appending all the keys. So L1 is equal to, the keys are 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And when you will check for L2, it will take the value. So you have 1, 2 and 3, right? So now finally when you will be out from this, when you will display L, it will display the keys. When you will display L2, it will display the values, and when you will display the dictionary, it will display the whole thing, key value dictionary. Okay, so I hope you are clear with all that stuff. We have completed section C, and if you have any doubt, you are free to ask in the comment section. Thank you. Bye.